All right.
Do
All right. I think we're live. What up, everybody? Welcome to Meme. This is my beautiful wife, Kara. And I hope I'm live now. I've been messing with this. I'm too old for this. So I'm trying to figure it out. So make sure. Yo, vocab, does it say I'm live?
Yep, I see it.
You see it? All right, cool. So, you guys, we're just hanging out. So if you guys, what did you say?
I said I confirm it.
Oh, okay. Word. Okay, what's up? What's up, Marco? What's up, Busy B? What's up, Rox B? Ethan T? Cordy Pie, all you guys. I see you guys a lot. Good to see you guys on here. Stickman Sam, what up, man? Good to see you. Hey, yo. You're love, sir. Appreciate that, Todd. Right on, man. Yo, so, you guys ask anything you guys want to ask in the comments. We're just going to kind of like kick it here and hang out and just answer you guys' questions, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Andrew, what up, man? K-Dub, what up, man? Yo, Vocab's here, too. He's over here somewhere.
What up?
Yeah, Wood. So, yeah, you guys send in your questions, whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever you guys want to hear me talk about. And, we'll go from there. I love this channel. Andrew, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Wife's hair color is beautiful. She likes your hair color.
This is nice.
It's our first time.
What you say about my wife?
You said what?
I was saying thank you.
Block.
Oh, okay. All right.
Block.
Followed you for a
How
while,
did
but
you
never
meet?
did a live with you.
We're going to do a
Troy,
story
yeah.
on that soon.
Oh, which one?
So how did we meet?
Who said it? Oh, okay. Roxby. What up, Roxby?
How did you meet?
Yeah, we're so so this is something you guys probably don't know yet. I haven't made public yet, but my wife and I are starting a vlog channel, a family vlog channel too. So I don't know when we're gonna go live with it, but at some point soon we're gonna go live with it too. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. Love to watch, but have to work. Later. See you, Benjamin. Good to see you, man. Hey, I'm a 15-year-old Christian girl. Any advice? What's up, TR? Any advice? Vocab, what's some advice for a 15-year-old Christian girl?
Stay the H away from boys.
Stay away from boys.
Boys are evil.
Boys are evil, says David Wood.
Some good advice at 15.
Yeah, no, when I was 15, I was a wild child. Yeah.
I'd
be back.
I think to read the Bible is the best advice.
Amen.
Yeah, read the Bible.
Yeah. The more you know the word, it's
Yeah. And listening to wise older people. It sounds funny, but really, you know what I mean? Listening to wise older people is like super important.
Consider discipling a younger girl than you.
You said what?
Like a 12-year-old. Like, she should work on discipling a younger girl. Yeah.
I'd say so too. I love your work in South Africa. Hey, right on. Appreciate that. I want to butcher your name. Sifo. I won't try that last name. Good to see you though. Yeah. Oh yeah. You go ahead, Wood. Hey, Vocab, or Alex or Ken, anyone want to come hang out?
Ooh.
Vocab. Shalom, Holmes. K-Dope says that.
Oh, he told me Shalom. I'm just tweeting it out for everyone to jump on real quick.
How is ETS? Brandon asking. ETS is dope so far. We still got a couple more days. This is Alex. Does everybody know Alex? And this is Ken.
Guys.
Alex is always meeting people.
I know. Alex knows. Everybody knows Alex, right?
Yeah.
Alex is a funny guy.
We like the United Nations over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got everything right here.
Was our baby crying?
Yeah.
Oh, you can bring him here too.
I could take him.
You guys want to meet our new baby?
I'm not coming over there and tripping over all the people.
The baby.
Falling.
I got cool. Oh, he's good.
All right, let's see. You got the squad. Yeah, reading any books right now? What am I reading right now? I've been listening to podcasts because I've been working so much. I've been listening to audiobooks. I just listened to this book the second time called Misquoting the Scriptures from Western Eyes, I think it was. And the second time I listened to it, and I think the book's really good. I think it's important. Wood, you can bring the baby here. You can handle it to me.
When one of these guys gets out of the way, I'll just carry him off.
You go? Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right,
Kids
cool.
love me, man.
All right, cool. Dizzy V says, would you be planning to make another series with David Wood? What do you think, Wood? What, you mean like an interview?
When all these random people get off, then I'll come over there.
All right.
Yeah, we will.
We're just randoms.
Carm, what up? Carm says, your wife is my favorite actress.
Oh, thanks.
When you guys do a video, when you guys do the video for choosing a religion. Yeah, she's better than me, that's for sure. Yeah, no, appreciate that. Love from New Zealand. Good to see you guys. Man, everybody's from everywhere. Dope.
I
We
wanna
want to
see
see
the
the baby.
baby.
Yeah, David Wood stole my baby. He won't give him back. So here is everyone. What do you mean?
I can take him,
says
David.
Men
Hey,
for
David, why don't you
Christ?
come over
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Bring the baby.
Baby back.
This way.
Yeah, my boy John, my guy. What up? What up? Okay.
Check this here.
You got room?
Check it out. Hang on. Ready?
Yeah. it's gonna-
What do you mean?
Oh my God.
He
Yeah,
has
this is our
bed
baby.
head right now.
Look at it.
Oh, so cute.
Take a look. You say hi. Oh, his hair.
He just woke up from a nap.
Uh-oh.
He has crazy hair.
You say hi. Say hi to everyone. Yeah, this
What
on
do
your
you
baby.
mean?
He's gonna put his arms out and say it. What do you mean? He's 3 months now. Yeah. So who here knows Alex? I'm sure if any of you follow on David Wood, I'm sure you probably know Alex. If you're on David Wood's Facebook, at least, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, you probably know Alex. Appreciate the compliments. Let's see, Alex. We have one. Do we have one out there who knows the big man, Alex B? Not by name.
I guess not.
Yeah.
I guess not.
What is it?
My last name?
Yeah,
No,
I can't pronounce it.
no.
Blagojevic.
Oh, yeah. See, I still can't pronounce it.
It's Serbian last name.
See, Manuel knows Alex.
Oh, there you go.
However,
Manuel. Thank you.
You were just
I know
joking about
Manuel.
it, bro.
said he's my man. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, Manuel.
Hey, love you guys. Your baby's so adorable, by the way. Appreciate that. Vocab did not come in clear when speaking.
Alex, the French rapper.
Vocab, they said you weren't clear when you were speaking. So whatever you say.
The internet was real. It was on my 3G, but at least people know to come over and
Yeah.
watch.
It's all good.
Hello from Switzerland.
Alex, the French rapper.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Hello, my Swiss neighbor.
Oh, dope. Switzerland, dope. Cute baby, beautiful family. Thanks. Yeah, my boy is getting big, isn't he? This
I
guy.
have a French atheist.
Starting to look like his old man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just-
That's me, the French atheist who became a Christian.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
You
right.
can see my video with David Wood.
Yeah, dope. That's dope.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Keep it going. Appreciate that. Are you guys going to do a part 3 to how religion owns science? It was hilarious. That was funny, right? And wasn't it better than Islamicize me? Would everybody say that? You hear that, Wood? Everybody thinks the skit is better than Islamicize me. Yeah, Wood spent 20 years writing Islamicize me. Took me about 5 minutes to write that one. Yeah, no big deal.
That's right. Which one?
The skit we did with Brothers.
I'll go behind.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
You can hit that like down. Yeah, push it down. Yeah.
Stop ruining everything.
Says, love your work, vocab, and John and David. Thank you. No problem, Ali. It's good to see you. John. Hey guys, really good channel here. I have a quick question. I live in social, and I wanted to know your opinion on smoking weed. Do you treat that like drinking alcohol or like meth? Do you know what I mean? Definitely like meth. Just kidding. Oh no, you have any advice for that one, Wood?
I mean, I would treat it. It's clearly not meth, but it's not alcohol either. So it's somewhere in between. I don't know what everyone's position is. I don't have any firm position.
Yeah.
I would be totally fine with it, and for legitimate medical purposes, right? Like if you've seen someone who has cancer, and because of the chemicals that are being pumped into their body, or because of the damage that's done to their body, like I saw Nabil go through this, right? That they can't keep food down, right? As soon as you eat food, they start throwing up and so on. And so if something like marijuana would help that and allow the person to actually eat more food so that they could be stronger while they're going through their treatment, I'd have no problem with it in those situations. But yeah. Other than that, I don't know why you're trying to
like
mess up your brain.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It ain't good for you. It ain't good for your brain, I know that.
Not good for you.
It says, John, congrats, bro. Appreciate that, Nick. Carmen says, if it's halal. From Melbourne, good to see you. Thank you for all the work you guys do. David Wood, please come down to Australia. Fundamentalist cells are growing.
Hold on. Hey, David, what do you think of Muslims calling you a psychopath?
It hurts his feelings, actually.
If you've never been following anything, I'm a psychopath. So it's like saying, David, your name's David.
What's this? A job joined you guys yet? I hear he is looking for a new religion after doing poo-poo in Islam. What?
No, Muhammad Hijab is going to be a brief shooting star in Islam. He's going to have a short reign of popularity as someone who can really work a crowd. But yeah, those things don't always last. Sometimes they do. I mean, Zakir Naik has been doing it for decades now, and people still don't know how bad his arguments are. Muhammad Hijab's a bit easier to expose, because it's like he's making no attempt to be correct in anything he's saying. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yep. It says, is this? I saw a comment that said, is this Hangout or Q&A? Both. So you guys can ask whatever. JMD Apologetics, what up, man? Hey, you want to scoop for you? I'll squeeze in here. You got this little space here, so we're all in Colorado.
Just don't back up or you prevent me from having any future children. Good.
I see, actually. What apologetic books are your favorite? I read a lot. I read a lot too. Do you read a lot still?
Yep.
I figured. What about you, Cab? You still reading a lot?
Yeah, but not as much as I used to.
Yeah,
because videos.
Yeah, it takes your time, man. YouTube takes a lot of time. It doesn't seem like it, but man, it takes a lot of time up.
Yeah, a couple of things. As far as apologetics books, what do you?
Yeah, I like. I always recommend.
One is the On Guard.
On Guard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she likes On Guard for like
as like a
type
beginner.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, beginner stuff. I like. I always recommend Tim Keller's The Reason for God. I think is a really good practical kind of like real life application of just practical kind of stuff. And Greg Copeland's Tactics. I think tactics is just essential. If you're going to
tactics is fundamental.
Yeah,
we're on the same page right there. If anyone's asking like where to start, tactics is where I'd recommend
absolutely
starting. So those are a couple general apologetics things on Islam. Answering Islam by Norm Geisler and Abdul Salih, which came out in the 90s, as far as I know. Still probably the best book out there.
90s
on Islam,
where I took my inspiration for my style right now. Someone asked if I was planning on debating Muslims. Michael Levy said in public forums. I've done it a few times. The problem is I'm spending so much time on YouTube. I don't think I can prepare for a debate properly right now.
Yeah,
that's it's like a real problem, man, for real.
Yeah.
I would like to do some meetups, and I wish I could find a Muslim who would be willing to do a written debate. I know that sounds crazy, but I'd be a little more into that. Because see, the rhetoric and the tricks you can't do. And no, Carm, I'm not going to sit on David's lap.
That's what I said. Remember? That's really funny.
Munim said it's time to do Islamicize Me season 2. Just so you guys know, we actually are thinking about 3 seasons eventually. One, we want to do the prequel series on. If you remember, at the beginning of Islamicize Me, we're atheists. And we're Dawkins fans, so we want to do a prequel on like how we became atheists. And so this would actually be geared towards atheism. And then if we ever have the funds to do the afterwards, like after we became Christians, if you notice, we decided to become Christians after a very just simple gospel presentation. But there's a lot more to being a Christian than that, and a lot more intellectual challenges that we would face. So thinking about like a Christianize Me series on what happened after that, would require some planning and writing on, because we want it to be funny and amusing. So yeah, but anyway, those are plans for near future. I mean, not near future, but sometime in the future.
Sometime, yeah, that'd be dope.
We'd have to do the prequel before we get really, really old.
Yeah. yeah. If it's noticeably old, that's gonna be bad.
By the way, Dumb Idols, we are your friends. And hey guys.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Dumb Idols, that's dope. Because I like that. I like that you guys feel like you know us, because that's how I feel when I watch like some of my favorite channels too.
Hey, could they give you your super chat? Is your super chat activated?
I think so.
Guys, someone test to see if super chat activated. Let's
give like $2 or something so we can know if it's working.
Yeah, and then after that, get some more. This guy's got a baby.
Yeah, he's got a brand new baby here.
Well, guess what? Babies don't eat YouTube views.
Megatron said something. What do you say? Megatron, what up, man?
Have you seen my post-debate review? No, just I've been traveling a lot, and so just recently, so I haven't been following most stuff. I haven't seen Muhammad Hijab's post-debate comments. I did get a couple of videos in, but that was pretty much all the extra time I had was to make a couple of videos. So no, I haven't seen most stuff that's been responding to the debate.
I can vouch for that. We've been in the hotel room, and all he's been listening to his old House of Pain disc records and stuff like that. No debate videos.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, it looks like we did super chats working. So Rob, appreciate it, man. Rob Normandin, appreciate it, bro.
JMD Apologetics. I think I agreed to come on your channel
Live, pure pressure.
sometime in the past, right?
Pure
Didn't
pressure,
I? Was that you or was that
It was
someone
him.
else?
It was him, yeah.
Okay, if that was you,
He can send me a message.
yeah,
I'll text you or
let's do a live stream. Are you talking about live stream? If you're talking about live stream, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll be home next week. Should have a good run at home for the next couple weeks, and so yeah, we can do a live stream there.
Appreciate it. Right on. Mark Reed, thanks for your work. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man. How did you do it, bro? Teach me. I don't know you're referring to, man. Yeah,
How did you get almost
Yeah.
30,000 subscribers?
He could be talking about subscribers. He could talk about making a baby. He could be talking about anything. We don't know.
We will not teach that on
We
this
don't-
channel.
we don't know what-
That's
we don't-
important.
They're asking how I keep
Yeah,
my
we don't
wife.
know
She
what-
is above my pay grade. I agree.
You should-
What'd I do?
What?
I don't know.
Oh,
That's pretty cool though.
Stickman Sam, will you ever debate hijab again?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't agree to any rules.
Yeah.
Or if there were going to be rules, it would have to be, they would have to be strictly enforced and not just cast aside as soon as the debate starts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd do it.
Dope.
Yeah, and I would do things differently given no rules, rather than I agree to, friendly and respectful.
Right. No, Skylar says, I've been watching you guys from Japan. Oh, love all your videos. No, Japan's dope. I always want to go to Japan. Yeah. And that's the one place that is on my bucket list to go. You guys may ever make a vid. What did that just, where did it go? You see it? Crap. So whoever's comment that was, I feel bad because I was reading it. It went away.
You lost
you guys
it?
ever make a vid? Yeah, something. They're coming in too quick.
Matt Slick wants to as well. You could team up. What does Matt Slick want to do as well, Andrew? Not sure what you're saying. Oh, someone asked what I'm drinking. Kara, do you remember? I was just see your memory.
Yes.
Kara's going to tell what I'm drinking based on her
We
memory.
had a venti Americano, 2 pumps caramel, 1 pump vanilla, and whipped cream.
That's crazy. You guys
Look at that.
Vocab's drink came with a free purse.
Which I gave to Kara. Hey, this drink is actually rather strong. I don't think someone like you could handle it.
It's too manly. It's too manly with all that caramel, whipped cream, and vanilla. It's just super strong.
Where's yours?
Medics for Christ says, what are you guys' views on eschatology? Didn't we do a video on that? We did a video on it. Did
Historic pre-mill, tempted by a-mill.
I don't know enough about it to give a firm position. So
no real position except that Jesus wins, and that's about as far as I go.
That's just clear. Yeah.
Anyone else want to share?
Let's see.
Ken, what's your eschatological position?
On what?
On eschatology.
Huh?
Eschatology in time stuff.
Oh gosh.
Hey, look.
That's not coffee. That's dessert.
Would you ever, David Wood? Would you ever dedicate a chunk of time to exposing Hebrew Israelites? No, but I would. I sort of tag along with Vocab in doing that, or help him. Because we work on we help each other out with each other's channels. One of the things we're thinking is like if we do the Islamicize Me prequel dealing with atheists, and then the afterwards. That each time we sort of go out to the same Hebrew Israelite group, but with like completely different methodologies. Like if we approach them as atheists, challenging them for the prequel, and then for the same group later when we're Christians show up, we don't have any firm plans yet, but something like that.
Someone asked if I would do a debate with you and me versus Muhammad and his boy
Ali Dawah.
Yeah, so apparently I'm the Ali Dawah to David Wood.
I can't imagine. I'd love to see it, but I can't imagine Ali Dawah debating. Right?
It'd be funny.
Yeah, but he doesn't have. If the entire debate strategy is based on like stage presence and shouting and working the crowd.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Muhammad Hijab is good at that, right? He's good at saying complete nonsense and working the crowd and shouting and things like that. I don't know that Ali Dawah is, right? I don't know that he would be good at something like that. So yeah, I don't know.
Super chat.
But yeah, we would do it. We'd do it, right?
Oh yeah,
we would do that. We would do a 2-on-2.
100%.
Yeah.
Jared Perry, super chat, appreciate it, man. It says, have to learn how to temporize around normies. I can't really read that. I mean,
That's what it says. He's
Okay.
using all the slang. I think he's saying he has to learn how to act normal around normal people a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I don't know that.
But you know, Gerard Perry was at the debate, and they almost
Oh, yeah.
told him to get out because he took a picture or something like that.
Oh, weird.
He took the train and everything.
Hey, appreciate it, Gerard. Appreciate it, bro.
Here's to you.
Yeah.
And if someone tries this drink, you'll see how strong it is. And by the way, someone else in there I didn't see said, am I still pursuing my doctorate? The answer is no right now. And will I ever get back to it?
That's on pause, yeah.
Am not sure. I do not know. Basically, I'd have to disappear for like 2 or 3 years. Vocab dawa. Someone put vocab dawa.
Why is he wearing sunglasses? Because it's bright in here.
Yeah, it's
Come on,
bright.
bro.
It's her hair. It's like platinum. You don't understand.
No, the real reason is vocab's trying to look cool. It's not working, but
I'm trying to look like a 90s, like, you know, guy that would, you know, like a 90s.
Style.
This is like a 90s look right here. The shades and the thing. Like, what was that group that had one of pour out for one for the homies? Anybody remember? They were like an R&B group that kind of looked like thugs.
Who was the names?
I don't know. I forgot.
Probably.
Ellie says, David, if Anthony Rogers were in your place, do you think he would end up with a different output? Just to be clear, Anthony Rogers would run circles around me
that's
in theology. I'm a philosopher, so I've spent the last couple, ton of years studying philosophy. So dealing with theological issues is kind of on the side. For Anthony's been studying theology for years. So Anthony would run circles around me on that issue. I don't know that it would. I don't know what would happen if Muhammad Hijab were acting the same way and sort of shouting people down and just focusing on working the crowd. I don't know. I think Anthony, because I start zoning out. I start thinking, gosh, I fell for this again. They keep doing that, right? They keep making me agree to rules ahead of time and then violating the rules. And so multiple times I was planning on walking off stage. So like, people keep making video responses, and they'll show that they'll respond to something that Muhammad Hijab said, and I have no recollection of him saying that, because that's a time I was thinking, what am I doing? I should be walking off stage. I should be walking off stage. Why am I sitting here? Why am I sitting here listening to this? Anthony hasn't had the same experiences over the years, because I've done I think over 60 debates. I haven't counted any time recently, but I was in the high 50s a couple years ago. But Anthony hasn't had the same sort of background with Muslims in the past making me agree to certain conditions ahead of the debate and then violating them. I'm thinking I think it's every time, right? Every time there are these pre-debate agreements on what is allowed as content or the rules and something like that, over and over again. Now, it's not like, people like Shabir. I've debated Shabir like 9 times. Very easy to work with Shabir. But bad experiences over and over again. Every time it happens, I sit there thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Why do I keep agreeing to this?
It's like Charlie Brown.
That affects me. And so I think the solution is, look, there aren't going to be any rules, or if there are going to be rules, it has to be someone else, some independent entity who's going to be enforcing them. But it does affect you in the debate when you start thinking they got me on this again, and I keep falling for it.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember now. But I was gonna say, people have been saying talking to Anthony Rogers. So Anthony Rogers, if you're out there, what up? What up, man? Why isn't Rogers out here? Where are you at, Rogers? Where are you at? What are you doing? You staying at home?
Well, his daughter was having surgery. His daughter was having a surgery this past year.
Oh, good to know.
It went well as far as I've heard.
Oh, very good, very good. We'll be praying though. Keep you guys in prayer.
Someone knew the group, DRS Gangsterling. Yeah, that's who it was. You're right. And you got shout out from the Bronx, and you also got shout out from a Somalian Christian in New Zealand. So some awesome people.
Hey, there's Anthony.
Nick says that's John's wife. Fire like. Said you like fire.
FIYAH.
Hold on. Hey,
wait. Where are you guys going? Come back and say bye before you leave.
No one's leaving. No one wants to see
the
them.
last word.
You say, come back. Yeah. Hey,
real quick.
You want to give the last word now?
Is this the last word?
No, this is not the
This will
last
be your
word.
last word.
Yeah, are you leaving?
No, leave
Oh,
it.
did you want to say something?
You should
everyone?
still.
It's our friend from
I'll just have
Singapore.
the very
Hold
last
on, hold on. I have a question.
Okay,
I have a question.
what's the very last word?
I want the very
If
last
you're
word.
on the internet and you see a little picture with these words on it that tries to destroy your faith, what should you say?
Like right now, you say, this is what you say. You say, what do you mean? Peace.
Wait, Alex.
Or you're gonna
Let's say you were French
okay.
and
Hold on. I just want to say, okay, I'm Singaporean, right? So we actually say, what do you mean, lah?
What do you mean now?
everybody go watch Crazy Rich Asians so you can know those people. So Alex, let's say it was in French and you saw a little picture with some words on it. It was attacking Christianity. It was on social media. What would you say, Alex?
I think I would say,
Qu'est-ce que tu m'aimes?
That's dope, man. People
Uh
gotta love that.
oh. Come on, going fast.
Respect the bridge. Wait, I respect it, Brody. Oh, someone asked.
You got 250 people on.
Whoa, wow,
That's good.
Where do you see? Oh, there's the
That's because a Frenchman should.
Yeah, that's because you got a French guy.
Real quick, someone asked about Shylon's music,
We're
and
French
Andy
losers.
Minio's music. Does anyone listen to Andy Minio besides me?
I don't know who that is, bro.
So Andy Minio, cool points. Number one, he's Italian, and number two, he's super dope. Number three, the Hebrew Israelites think he's a Hebrew Israelite. Number four, I wish he was a little more Christocentric like his older music, but I still enjoy him and respect his artistry. That's what I think of Andy Minio. Someone asked, I forget who it was.
Love you guys. Love what you do, Joel. Appreciate that. What do you guys do for fun? What do you do for fun, D Wood?
Insult others.
It's like watch TV with one of my kids. For some reason, me and my son Blaze will watch shows, and I let him pick the shows, and then we'll watch them. Left to myself, I'll usually read. Sometimes I'll sit around playing video games with my kids. It's weird because they'll be playing a game and they'll like be dying and stuff. So I'll like want to learn the game just because I'm their father and I have to protect them or something like this. And so that's how I'll actually end up playing a video game, is I have to learn it really well to protect my kids. But yeah, I'm pretty I like sitting around reading and stuff like that. So and really making videos is fun. I love making videos.
I said, I like my older boy's 4 now. So every Saturday we go to the arcade. That's always fun. He's old enough now where I have fun doing whatever he wants to do too. It's super fun. It's so fun. So yeah, my older boy is like, my boy. We kick it all the time. That's fun. And obviously I like to kick it with my wife. My wife is dope. I like to hang out, all my friends, and then making videos, having conversations with people, talking to non-believers, all that kind of stuff. Dope.
I like to go to Comic-Con.
Anthony Rogers says, Alex, you look at your text. For Anthony Rogers.
He sent you a text. Check your text.
Ken, what do you do?
I hope it says, Alex, you're a total French loser.
What about Ken? What do you do for fun, bro?
Anthony, if that's it, hopefully you sent that. If not, then
let me tell you, man.
Shame on you.
Nothing beats being able to meet really good people. I can do anything as long as the people are good, same values. Nothing's better than that. Like I can just hang out with these guys.
What do you mean good? We made Islamicize me. Don't you know where that devil?
I wasn't really pointing this way. I was like, just
your fingers were over there. Your fingers were over there, man. Your fingers are like here.
Ken made a lot of friends.
You got parallax error, man. My fingers are pointing over here. Like there's John over here and the vocab over here.
He said parallax.
That's right. That's
right.
Do you know what that means, David?
Stellar parallax?
Parallax error. Do you know what that means, David?
What does it mean?
No.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
It's like, yeah, the Asian guys will know what that means.
Oh, somebody said, je ne sais pas parler français.
Okay, Sean,
what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun?
We got a message from Anthony Rogers who says, Alex, you're the sexiest French piece. Oh, I'm sorry. That's an earlier text. Sorry, Anthony.
He's married. He's a married man.
Amen. Tell the guys I'm going to channel my inner vocab on my next video on Muhammad Echan.
He's gonna rap. Anthony Rogers rapping.
Oh no!
Oh man,
I can't even picture that like in my head.
bro, I totally can't. He's Sicilian swag.
Oh snap!
I know what Alex does for fun.
What do you do for fun?
Eat frogs.
That's true.
I'm sorry. What do you do for fun?
And snails.
What do you do for fun?
Do you know why French people like eating snails?
No.
Because it's not fast food.
Hey, speaking of that,
You should do a whole show of Alex making those jokes.
give us another French joke. Give us another French joke, Alex.
Do you know where best place to hide your money? Where? Under a Frenchman's soap.
under a Frenchman's soap.
Oh,
No one will never find it. That's good.
All right.
Sean says your son's name is Blaze. That is awesome. Someone who's a Ghost Rider fan. No, he wasn't named after Johnny Blaze, right? B-L-A-Z-E.
he was named after a Frenchman.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, well, the only good Frenchman ever.
John Calvin.
Blaze.
He was not French.
Blaze.
Yeah, he was.
Blaze Pascal.
He was a communist.
It was funny when we had baby number 5 coming. I told my son Blaze that we were going to name the new baby Good Blaze. So I said it's going to be Blaze and Good Blaze. Yeah, but we didn't.
Blaise Pascal. Yeah. That's it. Brian knows. Let's see what else you got. You guys send in your questions and stuff because we're going to be off of here pretty soon. So send in your questions. Any guys you guys want to talk about, anything like that. What else I saw on this one?
Oh, there were a bunch. They're just coming.
Yeah, I know.
They're just coming really fast.
So quick. Yeah. Favorite gospel? My favorite gospel is Mark. Hands down. I love Mark. That wasn't Bill's favorite.
Hey, what tattoos do you have? We thought about doing a show on that where we go through tattoos. We got.
Did you guys see?
Some, yeah.
Actually, his whole chest is a tattoo of hair. It's so dope. It's my favorite.
It's pretty awesome.
It never goes away too.
Makes me look like a hairy man beast.
People watch our tattoo video, and a lot of people are flipping out. And I guess that you guys are just wrong. So. Not much more to say about that, right?
David Wood has John Calvin's pointy beard tattooed on his right butt cheek.
How do you know? That's
because he sleeps.
Someone asked. Someone asked, do you have brothers who are unsaved?
Oh yeah, both my brothers.
Yeah,
both my brothers. I have an older brother and an identical twin. So I'm sure you guys seen probably my last video with my identical twin. It's
both my brothers are locked up, and I don't talk a lot about my family background. If you watch my testimony, you get an idea of a background of dysfunction. But that's no. I'm abnormal in my family, not for the bad things I've done, but for getting out of it. So
yeah, that's crazy. Actually, when you think about it, that's pretty dope.
My sister led her to the Lord, thank God, but she still needs a lot of prayers. So we appreciate your prayers.
Cool. What about you?
Oh, well, what? I was paying attention.
Brothers.
What? Get off the camera, bro.
Oh, okay. What?
Brothers, sisters, unsaved, saved.
Actually, my family is pretty much Christian. To be
Awesome.
so very thankful for that.
That's right.
But you know what? My nephew has a form of a blood disease. It's kind of like so. I'll just love for you guys to just pray for my nephew. Yeah.
So, is David, are both of your brothers sociopaths too?
No, my youngest brother Manny, he would be the closest, but no, I'm like calm and calculating. I can do horrible stuff, but normally very calm, thinking about what I'm doing. Manny is like a total hothead. He will fight everybody at once. There could be like 20 guys there, and if you tick him off, he will fight everyone, and he will get like 3 or 4 of them before they get him on the ground. John, my brother John, is actually the nice one. You have to really, really tick him off. But I don't think either one of them are psychopaths or sociopaths.
Joe says
they can do some bad things, but they have more emotional connections than I do.
Joe Leonard. I see Joe on there. What's up, Joe? I think, you know what? Before I forget, Joe, if I remember right, you had a question when I went live a while back, and I didn't even see it until after the video, and I felt bad because you said something like you stayed up to like 4 a.m. or something to ask your question. So anyways, if that was you, I'm sorry. I never got to respond to your question, and I was trying to look for it and to see if I could respond and stuff after the video, but anyways, couldn't figure it out. But anyways, sorry about that. But Joe says, can you guys tell us how you became friends? We're
not friends.
Well, we're not friends, so.
These guys owe me money, so I'm after, you know.
We brothers, we're not friends.
Yeah. And when we say brothers, we mean it the way Black people mean it, right?
Yeah, man.
I feel it has more meaning that way.
I can run through the list real quick.
Yeah.
I can run through the list real quick. I think I've known Alex the longest. I was out recording a series of videos on responding to Muslim arguments probably more than a decade ago, and met Alex there. And then later he was actually doing debates in Paris. And so he, and then after that, he ended up as my debate partner in France. So we actually tag teamed some debates in Paris in French. So that's how I know Alex. John Vocab I knew after that.
2010, 2011.
Yeah, when we were down in Phoenix, and so Sam Shamoon and I went on Vocab's radio show, and then would see him at EPS Christian conferences and so on. And it was last year he was going through all kinds of crazy struggles. That was last year, right?
Yeah,
that was just last year.
Yeah.
He was telling me about all the stuff that has happened in his life, and I was like, this sounds like spiritual. This sounds like spiritual attack. And when I hear that, when I see like the forces of darkness going, attacking someone, I start thinking maybe that person is supposed to be doing some cool stuff. And so I said, hey, let's tag team some stuff. I met John shortly before that at when was that? 2015, 2016. Yeah, Christian conference, and met him there. And it was afterwards when he was talking about YouTube. You can sort of see people whose personalities are good for YouTube, right? You can be like a brilliant scholar, very knowledgeable, not quite have the right personality to be effective on YouTube. But you can look at other people and say, wow, you're smart, you're funny, you have good presence, and so you do really well on YouTube. And so we ended up collaborating on some stuff. And this guy over here, Ken, he came up to me. Was that the Shermer debate? Did I meet you at the Shermer debate?
Yes,
your debate was Shermer.
Yeah,
that's the Shermer debate you're talking about. Okay.
Can I just say why I went to the Shermer debate very quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about spiritual attack, right? So the thing is, for me, my story is I spent probably over 8 to 10 years having an incurable autoimmune disease. So in that period, I was very homebound. I couldn't do anything but stay at home. I couldn't really go out. I lost everything. But during that time, I watched a lot of YouTube, right? Because what do you do when you can't go out? So people like David, right, was basically my church when I couldn't go to church. You know what I mean? So when God came in and kind of cured me just 4 years ago, I made it a point that, all those people that I saw on YouTube that had encouraged me and kept me in the game when I wanted to give up, I just have to meet these people, And then I found out, I had a chance to go to the US, and I found out that David's debate with Michael Shermer was in Atlanta, and I was just like a couple of hours drive, and I said, oh my gosh, I just have to go and meet this guy, and shake his hand and just tell him what an encouragement he was. So I just went there, and we became friends after that, right?
Mm-hmm. And I will say, like, Chin and Alex, people like this don't get enough credit, because like what we do takes a lot of time and it's hard and stuff, but these people are like supporters of our work, and it helps so much. Like, you guys, I mean, it comes to like, you guys see us and then you're just like, oh, okay, they're doing it. But really, like, we can't do it without these supporters and stuff like that. So just to say, you guys are like part of why we're able to keep our ministry.
I can do it without Ken or
Hey, this person says,
it just wouldn't be as good though.
Well, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, you know that.
Sandra says, do you guys know about Side Team Brunicate? Please tell me if you can debate. And I saw another comment she said. What's funny is I actually had a debate with Sai years ago on the Kalam, which is so funny. But it was we set it up through Facebook or whatever. Sai said he wanted to talk about the Kalam or whatever, because, it's a precept. But anyways, you can probably find that. I'm trying to think how you can even find it now, but find it on Sai's Facebook. It's somewhere down there.
I would, as far as the general approach, that so Sai is a presuppositionalist, but the sort of full-blown presuppositionalist. I would actually consider myself like semi-presup, right? Like, I think there are certain points. There are certain good points within the presuppositionalist approach, but I don't regard it as the kind of silver bullet against atheists that a lot of presuppositional apologists think that it is. And mainly it's because the vast majority of people that I've known who were atheists and came to Christ just didn't find that persuasive, but they did find other things persuasive. And so again, I think a lot of the arguments that are under that umbrella are good, valid points. But I would use those points in conjunction with other even sort of classical arguments for the existence of God.
Yeah. All right.
I wouldn't debate Sai because I agree with a lot of what he does.
I've met Sai. I was at a conference with him. And by the way, I don't tell presups don't have that position. I believe there are different kinds of people out there, and different approaches are going to resonate with different kinds of people. So there are people out there. Who will be confronted with the presuppositional approach, and they will find that persuasive. But I just think that different, like me, it was basically design argument and resurrection and things like that that made me sit down and really rethink my views. So yeah, I think there are different approaches for different people. So I don't go to people like Sai and say, hey, change your approach. I look at it more like there are people that need to hear what you're saying, but there are people who need to hear what William Lane Craig is saying. There are people who need to hear a variety of approaches.
Yeah, and I think of it in terms of effectiveness. You always want to be effective. So sometimes that approach could be effective, and sometimes it can't. So I think you don't want to treat everything so cookie cutter all the time. When you're actually talking to real people and you're evangelizing, you want to get to the heart of what the issue is for them, and you want to kind of work through these kind of preconditions or these pre-problems that they have that are blocking them from the gospel. So that's why I think it's important to talk to everybody as a person rather than as like they say X, you say Y, and have this kind of textbook thing. You won't get very far like that.
There was a question, John, on our view of Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah.
I just want to mention one thing. Jordan Peterson, I think he'll come to Christ, but he's such an influential person. There was a tweet where he tweeted Gary Habermas's Minimal Facts.
Oh, good.
So I would find, if I were you guys, I would find that tweet. I would find that article. I would share it with your friends because Jordan Peterson is such an influential person.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very powerful to reach out to those people who respect him, but who are not Christians.
So, and Peterson is really awesome at the issues that he deals with. If you have radical feminists, and I don't mean feminists who say, hey, women and men should have equal rights and equal opportunities and things like that. I mean the radical ones who have some really nutty ideas. Or social justice warriors who aren't just calling for improvements in society or something like that, or an end to racism or something like that. The people who are going overboard with really, really wacky ideas. I can't think of too many people who you'd rather have than Jordan Peterson, because he just dismantles and demolishes them. But he can actually go on and talk about theology or religion, and sometimes he's clearly outside of his field of expertise. And this is a problem for everyone. And this gets brought up like in the Apology of Plato, which is about Socrates at his trial. And Socrates is going around trying to find someone who is wiser than himself. And he said that he would go to different people and he would find out some people have a kind of wisdom, but because they had a kind of wisdom, people would think they're experts in other areas that they're not experts in, right? And that's something we all have to deal with, right? Because you can have whoever it is, William Lane Craig, any sort of expert who's an expert in some area, doesn't mean that person knows what he's talking about in some other area. Like I get messages almost on a daily basis. I've mentioned this before. David, could you make a video responding to Hinduism? David, could you respond to Hinduism? And my response is, why in the name of common sense would you trust anything I have to say about Hinduism? I one of my degrees is philosophy with an emphasis in religious studies. So I have studied a little bit. But the point is, why would you think that you should trust anything I have to say on Hinduism, right? Now I could go out and study and so on, but it's a similar situation with Jordan Peterson. Oh, look, he knows so much in this area that he is a specialist in and has dedicated decades of his life to. Therefore, I can trust him in this other area that is not his field, that he has, he's studied some of it from a psychological perspective, So that's the situation. It's it's good to look to what experts have to say in the fields that they're experts in, but don't let that sway you into thinking they're experts in everything.
Yeah,
because they're not. There is no expert in everything that you'll meet in this world.
Yeah, and you got to realize too, he's a psychologist, right? So he has a different view, kind of a different epistemic setup than when it comes to like the objective world. I remember because I think that truth is that which corresponds to reality, and he has a view where it's more like truth is that which corresponds to like some pragmatic view or something like that. So that's why it's hard, even when you watched his conversation with Sam Harris, they couldn't even agree on what truth was. When you get to that point, it's just too hard for to have kind of when you're talking two different languages. So when it kind of comes into religion and stuff too, it's kind of a little bit hard to follow them, I think, at least. But
hey, I saw someone on there ask if we've met Jeff Durbin.
I believe you have. You have, right?
So my first public moderated debate was against two local atheists in Phoenix, and Jeff Durbin and I tag team do it, and I've been on their show a bunch. Lately, they've expanded greater, and I don't live in that part of Phoenix anymore, so we don't kick it like we used to. But yeah,
I never met Durbin. Have you met Durbin?
No.
Okay,
No.
Never met him. Nobody. No, what's up?
What is your suggestion for a son to preach to Muslim parents? And that would kind of depend on the situation, right? If you're in Saudi Arabia, that would be a different situation from if you're in the United States or Canada or something like that. But general idea, I think that is helpful is to start by asking lots of questions. Of your parents. Say, why do you believe this? Why do you believe that? What do you believe about Muhammad? Why do you believe this about Muhammad? And to sort of figure out what their reasons are, because usually, if your parents believe in Islam, it's because they grew up as Muslims. They were raised as Muslims, and the real reason that they believe in Islam is because they were raised that way. And that's not intrinsically wrong to believe what we're talking. Most of what we know in life is because we heard it from others, right? So that is how we learn. So the question that arises and that you need to raise is, are there independent reasons other than what you were brought up to believe? Do you have any other basis for it? And find out how your parents would justify that, and start looking into those things, and then raising questions about those. So, for instance, if your parents say, but the Quran has been perfectly preserved, it's a miracle, of course it's the word of God, then start looking into that issue and start, asking them, okay, if it's been perfectly preserved, why does Abu Musa and Sahih Muslim say that entire chapters of the Quran came up missing because Muslims hardened their hearts and didn't recite these chapters anymore? How come verses were eaten by Aisha's sheep that are verses that are no longer in the Quran today? How about that? And then so you notice you're asking questions rather than running to attack or running to criticize or running to condemn. Now, fortunately, when you're talking about a family member or a close friend, that can actually help you in the long term, because you have a kind of bond that can help you weather any sort of disputes you might have or any arguments you get into, right? Families argue. So if you get into an argument about Islam or Christianity or something like that, usually, not always, but usually, your relationship with your family can endure that. So I would say ask your parents where they're at and get some information on where they're at, and then start asking them questions and go from there.
Yeah, actually, one quick one. I just want to say that because I'm from an Asian region, never just outside of the intellectual way of doing things, right? Don't ever discount and forget about prayer. Like, I'm serious, because I personally know some Muslims, right, that they're firmly entrenched in their ways, but they would have dreams, right? And from that dream, like Jesus basically visited them in their dreams, and that made them more open and more curious to find out more. There are many cases like that. So at the end of the day, right, you still need God, right, to kind of, for those hearts that are very hardened, right? Because if they're Muslim parents, they're probably very entrenched in their ways for so many reasons, right? You just need God to open it up somehow, and I believe that even if no one is able to preach them what they need to hear, God can show them somehow, right, that Jesus is real. Absolutely. So don't forget about prayer. It really works.
Oh, and somebody was saying, where are your moderators? Because the trolls are coming in. For my channel, I personally don't really care. Like, you guys can have all the trolls, all the atheists, the people that disagree with me, all of them, they can come on my channel. I don't really care. As long as they're not being like obnoxiously disrespectful, like, or threatening or something like that, threatening to hurt people, something like that, then I'll get rid of them. But other than that, if they just disagree and want to fight and troll or whatever, I don't care. You guys can troll all you want.
Callum says, vocab this spirit? Yeah, he's over here texting on his phone. That's what he does always.
That's how he feels about you.
I ain't got no room over here.
Oh,
I can't be seen. It's really difficult.
Do you see that? You see how everything has to be about whether he's seen
No, it's
or not?
about my back hurts when I have to
There you
lean
go.
in.
There
like
you go.
this.
I screwed in.
I'm like
I know
freaking
we're
horizontal over
You're
here.
old, man.
I don't mind. I'm not complaining. Look, Ken get his shine on, you know. I mean, I think Cara might want to come back. The baby's not crying anymore. You want to
Hey,
check out?
hey, Cara, you want to come back? Yeah, take my place.
Yeah, there we
You
go.
can say
Yeah.
No, you take my place.
So thoughts on Ben Shapiro?
All right.
Are you
There.
Kara, by the way.
Oops, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Um,
Yeah, you do.
It's just somebody said something if we could go on Ben Shapiro show. That'd be fun if all of us went on there, right? Ben Shapiro show. That'd be dope.
I don't think
Joe
most. I
Rogan's
don't.
podcast
man.
or something. That'd be fun.
I don't think most people want us on their stuff. But yeah, you see, Ben Shapiro is another guy who, like Jordan Peterson, in the areas where he specializes in Ben Shapiro's case, namely certain political discussions and so on, phenomenal. I mean, who's better on the areas that he actually deals with? What?
I don't like Ben Shapiro.
I think
you
Ben
don't like
Shapiro's
Ben
way better
Shapiro?
than Peterson.
Once I
He's a better
saw,
thinker than Peterson. I think.
I like them both on their areas, right?
Yeah.
Like Shapiro's more politically focused and so on.
Yeah.
So I like them both in the sort of narrow area where they deal with. Once they get outside of that area, I
Once
wouldn't
I
necessarily
saw-
trust
Wait,
anything.
David,
they
is
said.
that really how you feel, David? Because facts don't care about your feelings.
Hey, did you know though that
What do you
William Lane
mean?
Craig? You know William Lane Craig's going on Shapiro's show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's going on in January.
Oh, that's awesome,
So-
and that's cool that Shapiro would have him on for
Yeah.
for
once
discussion.
I saw him do a negative review of Black Panther, where he was just hating, I just kind of just painted him as a
Yeah, Black Panther was awesome, man.
But
I
he
didn't
gave a
see it.
hater review of it. He's kind
Did
of
he?
like a.
Oh yeah, Ben Shapiro.
I respect
He's a little
his-
bit of a hater
He's
sometimes.
kind of a
and stuff.
smug little twerp, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a hater.
Oh yeah,
I like
I mean
Shapiro.
that-
but you know,
He just has no-
someone being smug and stuff like that is not necessarily bad. Sometimes you want someone like that. I mean, like look at you. Come on, you're one of the most annoying jerk dudes I know. But you know, you can still.
You know
can still
Sam
get along.
Shamoon. What are you talking about?
So do we know
That
Sam
is true.
Shamoon?
That is true.
I don't
Yeah.
know Sam Shamoon. Oh, you're talking. Oh, you're talking about him. Yeah.
It's okay. You guys can like him if you want. But
Who's your favorite apologist speaker?
speaker, are they
Speaker.
emphasizing that the fact of who, like the speaking aspect? Is that what they're getting at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's go with all around apologists, and I'm guessing me and John are going to give the same answer, and
Yeah.
Vocab's going to give some loser answer.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
All right, on the count of three, John. 1, 2, 3.
William Lane
Lane
Craig.
That would be our top pick.
Craig's the dopest when it comes to
Now,
philosophy.
now, Vocab, tell us. Go ahead, give us your answer.
It's all changed recently. It's
Yeah.
all changed. So for now, I'm gonna say Greg Kokel because I like his books. I like the way he communicates clearly. I like his spirit of get alongness. I like how he builds up a team. I like how he tries to put people on.
I like that Greg Kokel's a
I
normal
like-
person. He's practical. I like
Yeah.
the practicality of
I
his
really
stuff.
like-
But there's a place for that, and there's a place for the academic stuff. You know, so when it comes to academic stuff, Craig's the man.
Yeah.
I think he's hit so many
When-
topics so well.
My favorite
when
people.
it comes to tactics, Kokel.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite-
Like general strategies and stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite people aren't necessarily apologists. So like Richard Balcom is my favorite New Testament scholar, and he's like someone that's like if I have someone I
It's
could
Balcom.
interview or talk to.
What kind of fan are you?
I always hear Balcom, but
Really?
and,
No,
then,
you might be right.
and then Tom Schreiner, those two New Testament authors put those together, and so I tend to go a lot of times with guys like that. But
Oh, people keep talking about Turek. By the way, Turek is doing a video for my channel here now too, so you guys should see it probably pretty soon.
Andrew C, it's Bauckham. Anything he writes is good. He's got
Yeah,
a second
Balcom too.
edition of the Gospel Eyewitnesses. It's
Is
amazing.
Turk going to say, "What do you mean"?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I actually talked with William Lane Craig about his new stuff that he's working on with the Adam and Eve stuff. So interesting. So I'm excited for that. stuff
Oh,
to
when
come
it comes to like science, right? I love Hugh Ross, by the way.
out.
Like because Hugh Ross is an actual astrophysicist.
Hugh,
right?
Hugh Ross's Creator in the Cosmos was actually the first apologetics book I ever read. I didn't know that it was apologetics. I just thought I was reading a book about Christianity.
Yeah.
And so this is back in a jail cell and stuff. And it wasn't until like Josh McDowell, More Than a Carpenter, where I actually knew what apologetics was when I was reading it.
What's the first? Oh yeah, I know your first apologetic book you wrote, was Case for Christ, right? Case for Christ.
No.
Oh, the Hugh Ross one was?
Hugh Ross,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
and then more, and then later a couple of I had several books.
Okay.
I didn't understand. I didn't know what apologetics was, right?
Yeah.
Like no background in this, no background in Christianity. So I'm reading these books. I just think I'm reading books about Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't say apologetics on it, I have no idea what it was. More Than a Carpenter was actually the first book. It was a guy in prison who came up to me and said he was an old guy who'd been locked up for decades, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey, my granddaughter sent me this. Looks like something you'd be interested in." And so I read that, and then later on went through there, and then to Lee Strobel, and then to other apologists dealing with different topics.
Who's the last guy you said? What was that author's name?
Which one?
Lee. Was it?
Lee Strobel.
Yeah.
How does he say his name?
I'm Lee Strobel. Welcome to Faith Under Fire.
I can't wait to.
Got some
he's
awesome
watching this.
topics to discuss today.
I was trying to say-
what accent is that? Right? I don't even know where
It's
that's
Chicago. That's Chicago.
from. I've heard Chicago people don't talk like that. I think that's just Lee Strobel.
I was trying to set you up to say that naturally.
Oh yeah. So Strobel.
What's Christ sound like?
I read James White's King James Only Controversy. Awesome book for an understanding of the textual tradition and translations and stuff like that. Lots of stuff on creation, things like that. But there's another question on apologetics right here. Elizabeth asked, "Why aren't there female apologists?"
There are.
There are. Mary Jo Sharp and so on. As far as why there aren't.
Nancy Pearcey.
Yeah, why there aren't more female apologists? I think there are differences in the personalities of men and women. You can find very aggressive women, and you can find very very calm, laid back men, and so on. But guys do tend to be, on average, a bit more aggressive, and that is something that can get you into apologetics, right? People are attacking and criticizing your positions and stuff like that. And you want to respond in a certain way. So I think that's part of the reason why you end up with more men in apologetics. So with that said, yes, there are lots of women apologists, and they're at places like HBU and stuff like that. They have professors, female professors of apologetics, teaching apologetics. With that said, we do need more female apologists. So if you're interested in apologetics, you should be studying.
And Mama Bear Apologetics is big for women apologists. They have like a whole network of a lot of women apologists too.
And there's also
What?
I don't know, bro.
There's someone else was gonna say.
If you have nothing else, if you have nothing to say nothing, man. It's Charles Caleb Coton.
Mary Jo's cool. She's not out here, huh? I was hoping to see her.
No, she missed it. She missed it this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, John Lennox. Like John.
Oh yeah.
John Lennox is
What you
also
guys do?
there.
Her study in at church.
At
They
our
did Mary
women's
Jo's.
Bible group, which
Yeah,
is
that's
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's a way to get more women involved.
Yeah.
In it.
That's
Yeah.
legit.
Agree. Oh, we pause on the.
Oh, don't forget Lydia McGrew.
Oh yeah, Lydia McGrew.
She's sharp.
Yeah, she's smart. I like.
Oh
her.
yeah. There are women that we normally don't think of as apologists, because sometimes I would think of Lydia McGrew like as a philosopher or something like that, right?
Eleanor Stump.
Eleanor Stump. Yeah, I would think of her as only a philosopher. I wouldn't even think of her as an apologist at all. But there are women out there who, if I were in the room, I would keep quiet, because they would they would annihilate me, unless it's something that I just happen to be personally an expert in. I would keep my mouth closed, because I know that they would wreck me.
I think
love,
Amy Bird. I think Amy Bird is doing.
By the way, Lydia McGrew's work on epistemology, I love it. Her and Tim McGrew's work. They have a little book here that's really good.
As far as pure brain power, right?
Yeah.
That family, Lydia McGrew and Tim McGrew, the kids and everything.
Yeah.
As far as like raw brain power, and I can't think of a more turbocharged brain family.
And I told Tim, I was like, "What are dinners like at your house, right?"
What is it like when they argue?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
For real.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up here in a sec. So, you guys, last questions, last round, last questions, or anything you guys want to hear?
Someone wants to know what we think of Catholic Answers Apologist.
I've never seen.
They're
it.
asking David, but I have an opinion. If you don't, David.
Not familiar with it.
Trent Horn is the young, brightest Catholic apologist out there. Like he's a very good look for them. Now, I'm Reformed, so I'm not friendly to Rome at all. But Trent Horn kind of is like the whole package. He communicates clearly. He's sharp. He comes across sort of well-meaning type of thing. So he's like the best they have. Jamie Aiken is good too. You know, he's like more of an old standby. They've got some other guys like Scott Hahn, who's a former Presbyterian. They have a lot of guys who make bad arguments as well. But I mean, there's also Peter Kreeft, who kind of floats in and out of evangelical circles and then goes to Catholic. Yeah. Same thing with Francis Beckwith. You know what I mean? He was at ETS this year. So there's a lot of sharp people, a lot of brain power. So as far as that, respect them. But ultimately, for me, it comes down to an issue of authority. When you're dealing with a Catholic, for me, it comes down to the issue of authority. And they have all these extra, superfluous, mistaken authorities besides Scripture, and it leads to massive problems in their theology. But no one should doubt the brain power on the sort of Roman Catholic side of things. A lot of very smart people, including the Catholic Answers team. I think they do a good job defending something that I wish they wouldn't be defending.
Hexata says, when we expect your testimony book to be published, David? That was actually put on hold for a while. The publisher had me submit a writing sample, and I went ahead and submitted the worst part of it, just so they know what this would be about, and. They thought it was a little too graphically violent. Well, that's what happened.
But you also purposely sent them the worst pages.
Yeah, I know. I said, okay, so this is the most extreme it's going to get. So you have to be able to deal. You have to be able to deal with this. So I went ahead and sent that, and they were worried about that, and I guess wanted it toned down and so on. So my position was I don't want to, because I wasn't entirely sold on doing it. I like making videos. Sitting down and writing hundreds of pages of text for a book, it's a much longer process. During that time, I mean, I can make hundreds of more videos in the time it would take me to write something like that. But I ended up talking to the publisher just like 2 days ago at the conference, and I laid out my case. I said, if this is my book and I'm writing it, and to tell what happened, I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to say what I want to say, and there's going to be really bad stuff in there, but that's just the way it is. And they said, well, go ahead and submit a couple more chapters so we can sort of see where you're going with this. And maybe we decide to let you go ahead and do what you want. And I'll keep you updated on that.
All right. Stickman says, John, are you planning on doing any debates? Nope. Not right now. Not lately, probably. I mean, maybe one day, but I mean, go ahead.
Did you see the person that said, would you guys be willing to appear on a calendar?
Yeah. I saw that one. Yeah, we should be on a calendar, right?
John would want to
I think John should be on the calendar.
No, I think vocab should.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
And I want November.
Well, vocab could be, he likes to put on his little fancy hats and jackets and stuff like this.
Like the fireman.
And sunglasses. And he likes to do all that. So maybe it could be like sort of a fashion calendar or something like this.
You can have a different outfit for every month,
Ooh, David would do it as Dennis the Muslim.
We should do it as
an Islamicize me calendar.
That'd be funny.
We have a bunch of pictures that we actually never used because we lost the SD card. It's one that had some lost footage on it, and it was just wedged into the corner. We actually have lost scenes and an entire lost episode of Islamicize Me because the SD card was wedged into a sort of crack in the corner of the camera bag. But that's the one where we had a bunch of the cool pictures. Remember where we repeated the Straight Outta Compton picture where they were all gathered around looking down on someone? We had one where in all our Islamic gear, standing over someone. So the picture is like, look up Straight Outta Compton and with NWA, and you can see that the classic picture where it's like someone is laying on the ground and they're standing around him, and Eazy-E has a gun in his hand, but we're in our Islamic gear and we're looking down at someone with the picture. So we got stuff like that we never use, but we can make a calendar out of that if we wanted. It'd be kind of lame, but for really diehard fans of the series, that would be cool.
Ashton, Philly, yes. Sicilian.
Who would win in an MMA fight, vocab versus John?
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
First off, Yeah, what do you think?
I say, John, you have a bit of boxing background, right?
Yeah.
Also, MMA is
And
on the devil.
I'm scrappy too. Like,
Yeah. Now, notice they didn't toss me in there because that would be obvious. Right?
Yeah,
That would be
obviously
obvious, right?
you beat Wood.
Yeah.
Because Wood's a big baby.
David is the oldest of us, though.
Yeah, he is. He's like 30 years older than
Like
us,
the
I think,
old,
right?
like the old gorilla, right? You ever watch those nature programs? The young gorillas come along and they think they can take out the old gorilla, and that old gorilla just you have no idea what I've been through, dudes.
Who would win in Bible trivia? Vocab.
And now we know who studies what's important.
Oh yeah. I think he's wrong about it.
By the way,
he knows this stuff.
By the way, notice the it's a blocked comment here, but De La Cruz, who's posting like the most offensive comments.
Oh wow! You should show that.
I hope they kill Asia Bibi. By the way, I've been getting lots of comments like that because I made a couple videos about the situation with Asia Bibi.
Oh yeah,
and I've gotten lots of comments, unfortunately, from Muslims saying that they want her dead.
Why would you say such a thing? I don't
he
understand.
said Jesus sucks too, and I didn't say you suck.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Why would you hope that?
Yeah, that's pretty. Look at this guy.
You Christian WHORE.
Yeah, see, guys. Now, just so you know, you can talk trash. You can talk trash about us, but you don't get to talk trash about Asia Bibi. And let me show hide user on this channel.
Yeah, that's
a Freudian slip. I really didn't mean to say that. I honestly did not mean to say that. It just came out. That's called a Freudian slip. A Freudian slip.
Everybody says the baby's cute. Appreciate it. That's our. My wife. Somebody asked if this was your baby or my baby.
Oh no!
I say because he has blue eyes. Yeah.
I got brown eyes. Man.
That's what I thought. Yeah, but
but
they thought he's a white baby.
Yeah,
he's a white and black baby. He's our baby. So yeah,
this is how you have to do it, though, right? You got Adam and Eve. They had the genetic information for all races, and then it all got split up, and so you put it all back together. You put all the genetic information back together.
Adam.
That's right. Remember last night at the conference when Moreland actually slipped up and said people were seeing Jesus when they died. He was white. And
that's crazy.
And Wood goes, no, that they saw Muhammad.
I turned to John. I was like, John, I told you.
Yeah, because imagine you die and you see this white dude or something like that. And, why wouldn't you be like, oh, that's Muhammad? That's the prophet Muhammad.
For those that don't understand,
the whitest prophet
the
in
Muslim
history.
sources say that Muhammad was white. Yeah, so that's why it's funny.
Why is everyone typing all caps to me? What is? Like, look at all the caps.
Looking like a fool.
I think they want to do a burn session. I need to do one of those. I need to go. We need to go live one day and do a roast.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I mean, for real, for guys like Muhammad Hijab and stuff who want to blast and insult us or something like that.
Fun,
yeah, you don't need to do that in a debate. If you want to talk trash, I'll get online and you could do it. You can come from where you sit.
Guys, can we do
We'll do a roast. We'll do a roast to David Wood.
For a celebration, when I get 10,000, will you guys come on the channel and roast me?
Roast you?
Yeah, I'll roast
for
you.
as a celebration for when we hit 10?
Yeah. See, but I'm bad at this because whenever I roast people, I go like way too low and I don't even know the difference. So I don't want to go too low.
Just grab an old joke book or something and use those. Alex, do you want to join in on that?
That'd be fun though.
Roast me when I hit 10,000?
Sure.
I'm only like 600
I'm
away.
like 23 something. I'm trying to get to 25.
This guy.
I really want to get to 30 by the end of the year. That would be cool because when you hit 30,000, you get new features unlocked as a YouTube creator. So that's what I'm hoping to hit sometime soon. So.
Hey,
so you guys know, I'm at 23.
Hey, check out this one. Check out the lovely comments we get. Yeah. This is our life.
So let's guess the religion.
Yeah.
Whoa,
David! I hope your retard son dies slow.
What? You can't make this up.
No, you can't. Yeah. And guys, so notice this is the live chat. This is the live chat right here.
Yep.
This is what we deal with, right? This is all day, every day. These are the kinds of comments that I get.
Man, Muslims are starting to get the Hebrew Israelites to run for their money.
Wait, because on my channel, some people might not know you. So you have a son.
I have two. Yeah. I mean, I have 5 sons, but yes, 2 sons who have
special needs.
Yeah, I have they have a disease called myotubular myopathy. They have extremely weak muscles, very difficult for them to swallow, to even blink, can't talk. They can say a few words when they're hooked up to their respirator, but even vocal cords are muscles that are extremely weak. And so it's considered a terminal illness. You eventually die from it. When our first son was born and finally got his diagnosis, they said he had a 50% chance of seeing his first birthday, a 30% chance of seeing his second birthday. So 30% chance of seeing his second birthday. He just had his 11th birthday. And so, but nevertheless, he has severe medical issues. And notice comments, regular basis. Every once in a while, I'll share some of them just to show what kind of comments I get. But these are regular comments. David, I hope your son, or in my case, sons, dies slowly. And welcome to my life.
Yeah, that one just said, you just blocked it out. It said, retard, bastard, die slow. Yeah. I just said, oh, wow.
Yeah. They're just going to hate. That's what they got to do. Because they're, I mean, think about this. If you had such a miserable life and you're in this dark, weeping, dark black hole and you have nothing else to do besides try to send mean comments to people online, that's all you got to do.
And notice, guys, by the way, would we say anything remotely like that to our worst enemy on our worst day? You catch us at our absolute lowest. We haven't slept in days, haven't eaten, just got robbed. Just got robbed.
Islamize me.
Yeah, just got robbed. Multiple diseases. Would you ever look at your worst enemy and say, "I hope your son dies slowly"? Anyway, different standards here.
Yeah.
Alan Rule said, "When will the Jesus or Muhammad rap battle happen?"
Oh yeah.
That will depend on funding and donations. So if you want to see that sort of thing happen, basically we have everyone we need for it. It's just a matter of we spent a ton of money on Islamicize Me, and it takes a while to kind of build up the funds necessary to do a big project like that, because it's multiple phases, right? We have to get guys to write all the lyrics, then you have to have it recorded as a song in a studio, and we don't want it to be some lame song. We want it to be an epically awesome song.
Yeah.
And then after that, to record the music video. So a lot of work, but yeah, it's going to have to wait until we have the necessary funds together. So that might take a while. But yeah, we are going to do that.
Yeah. So also too, if you guys aren't subscribed, obviously go subscribe to David Wood's channel, Act 17 Apologetics, Vocab Malone's channel, Vocab Malone, Kim's channel.
A
letter.
I got a ministry page.
Modern day. Oh, go ahead.
Could you put it underneath or something?
Yeah. We can put a link underneath too. But you can say it here too if you want.
Yeah, I'm writing my testimony on my webpage. It's called Letters to a Modern Day Job.com. That's Letters to a Modern Day Job, J-O-B, but .com but
because you're scraping your skin like boils and stuff with that skin problem.
I just recorded his testimony video. We're gonna finish up recording, but I'm gonna post it on my channel here in the next.
Yes, to cut the whole story short, I mean, when I went to seminary, that's what my seminary mates called me, a modern day Job, because I lived many years almost like a walking zombie, because my skin problem was so bad that I was basically crippled for 2-3 years, and I lost everything. And then my story is about how God brought me back, basically.
Yeah.
And the doctors up to today still are wondering just how that happened.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Hey, people are saying we should do this again. We actually have one more opportunity.
We should do it tomorrow.
We're still all going to be here tomorrow.
Maybe.
We might do it tomorrow.
We'll plan on that. So
Alex say peace.
Most likely we'll all right, guys. Tomorrow. So all right.
Before Alex
say bye. You say, all right. What happened?
You wanted to say something in French.
Oh, okay. I thought you said bye. Oh, you said bye. Okay. All right. So guys, we are gonna hop off of here. Thanks everybody who sent in the super chats. And all my Patreons too. I don't give you guys enough thanks. I appreciate it. All you guys that are supporting this channel. It helps more than you guys will seriously ever know. It helps a lot. So appreciate you guys. So peace out, everybody. God bless you all, and continue to hold steadfast to the gospel. All right, guys.
Hit me up, Callum.
Oh wait. What should you say?
3, 2, 1.
What do you
mean? Yo. All right, cool.
Good job. That was fun.
Hey guys,